of the evening session here at the Delray ITC.
Well, these guys have never faced each other at any level. They haven't played a challenger, an ATP World Tour match, futures event, nothing. So unless they've practiced together, this will be a first time they've ever faced each other in any sort on the tennis court. Dolgopolov mentioned in his interview with Leaf that he had a good run last week in Memphis after coming back from a little bit of an injury. He started the year as a quarterfinalist in Brisbane and then got hurt after Davis Cup. Came back last week.
Number 32 in the world, also came in 2011. He has a 3-2 record in this.
It's been as high as 13 in the world right now. That ranking has slipped to 22.
And to the chair umpire's left, this 24-year-old finished number 18 in the world in 2012, but his best season was in 2011. That year he won his first ATP title, reaching the quarterfinals of the Australian Open, and won the Indian Wells.
Here's a look at Ivan Dodig. Dodig, very aggressive player. One career title, one final. He's up to, well, he's at 62 in the world. He got hot in 2011, made it up to 32. And Leaf, do you know much about Dodig?
Now, Ivan Dodig is a very talented player indeed. And not only does he move around the court well, he's able to put himself in a lot of good positions, and he's blessed with those legs to have a great serve. And that's where a lot of the good things start for him, because he likes to be aggressive. I don't think he's a comfortable transition player. He likes to get his work done a little bit more from the back of the court, but when he comes in on good shots, that's when he's going to be able to make the transition he wants to make. He certainly wants to do it on his terms, let's say that. It's really a fascinating matchup, yeah, in a lot of ways.
Dolgopolov's such a good counterpuncher. And let's take a look at our champion Porsche keys to the match and find out a little more specifically what you think is going to be important for each of these guys to win.
Well, Dodig's weapon really is his serve, and he's got enough on his ball on the forehand side as well, so it's a nice combination where he can be aggressive. But I think you're going to see that Dolgopolov is going to push Dodig around a bit, so I think the Croat is going to have to learn to get that defensive play turned into something aggressive, something that he can dictate play a little bit more of, because I think Dolgopolov has the ability to boss the point and really use his weapons effectively. He's a little bit taller, maybe a little bit faster, and he definitely has more miles per hour on the forehand. And the one thing about Dolgopolov that may hold him back at times are the lapses that he experiences. And there are times when he just sort of slips out of the slot, makes a few mistakes, and he doesn't have the type of game where he can hit 2 or 3 unreturnable serves like some of the taller guys on the tour and just make it through service games. He needs to be present all the time. So it'll be a test for him today, as it is every time he steps on a court. So in an opening round matchup like this, where you've got two players who really need to get a win here and get going, I think there's a fair amount of pressure because they don't know each other's game well. I know, Sam, you were talking about how this is their first meeting.
Yeah.
And there's a feeling out process there. And they're going to have to find out, well, how does my game match up with his? The things that I like to do, how is it going to influence and shape the kind of replies I get? And there'll be a lot in this one early. So it'll be interesting to see how particularly the opening set goes.
And earlier today, the guys were playing the wind as much as they were playing each other as well. Added a whole other dimension to the match. It's breezy now, but it's not as blustery as it was earlier, so we'll see if that impacts this match at all.
Yeah, both these guys are pretty heady players. Dolgopolov, the last word out of his mouth was attack when I was talking to him courtside, so he wants to be aggressive. But he also was aware of the conditions that you talked about. Playing in the wind isn't easy. So not only are you adjusting to competitive environment against a guy you've never played before, you've also got the conditions.
I'm sure these guys have been hearing the other players come in all day talking about how windy it is. Now that is the best seat in the house. Wonder what you had to do to get those seats. No Leaf Shiras?
Yeah, I think that was the key.
Yeah.
Although I can't say I know who those folks are, but they do have the best seat in the house.
Champion Porsche, one of the sponsors here. So I got picked up in the airport yesterday. I didn't want to get out.
Yeah, it's one of the nice luxuries for the players is to be transported around town by the tournament staff. They have a committee of transport personnel who sort of chauffeur them around town, from hotels to training facilities to the practice courts to the stadium here, and any need they have, they're going to pretty much be met in terms of transportation, and they get it done in Porsches.
So we're set to go. It'll be Alexander Dolgopolov. He's the number 5 seed this week here in Delray Beach. He'll serve first. And there's the big forehand from Dodig in the opening point of the match.
Yeah, and this is the wing that he has a little more power on. I wouldn't say it's a feared weapon around the tour, but that's where he can do the most damage off the ground with.
Dolgopolov, when he's on, he's such a fun player to watch. Get the feeling he's got a great career on the exhibition circuit one day when his career's over.
Yeah, he's something of a magician on the tennis court. The way that he can make the ball move, he plays with variety. A little unorthodox in how he gets it done, but really a master of his skills.
Dolgopolov called it out, and the linesman finally agreed. So he gets credit for the hold. Opening game of the match.
Now, in that opening game, and particularly that last rally, you saw the variety he loves to produce. Underspin backhand, very heavy. Yet he's got the ability to slap it cross-court flat or take it up the line. So he really has all the skills required. I guess the one thing about Dolgopolov, maybe he doesn't have one big weapon. You know, it's sort of a combination of very strong plays working together. So everything really needs to be working well for him to get through.
You just never know what kind of shot you're going to see from him. You could see a lot of junk in the first couple of hits and then crushes the pass up the line.
Yeah, and you know, you can play shots like that when you have tremendous legs and tremendous balance. Because watch him track down this. This isn't a bad approach. Pretty nice winner up the line.
Yeah.
My colleague Jimmy Arias could not play that backhand up the line.
Well, so far the long rallies, the few we've had, have gone to Dolgopolov. It's a good serve to set that up. I think Dolgopolov looks a little like Andre Pavel. Get a little in his face.
Yeah, certainly in the way his shoulders are shaped. Yeah. Very strong. Boy, that's a wonderful point, though, wasn't it? And again, pre-match interview, he said, I need to return serve well. Beautifully timed return here. Watch him grab the advantage and then build on it.
Break point as a result. Wow, that was a serious slice from Dolgopolov. Could not be handled by Dodig, and the break goes to the Ukrainian.
Yeah, so heavy with spin. With the number of players who play with two hands, that makes for a very tricky ball. Plus, players don't like to move forward. So ultimately, Dodig made the error on the transition shot, the approach up the line. He missed it badly.
He plays such an unconventional game. There's got to be an adjustment period when you're across the net. This is not what you're used to seeing. Did you ever know his dad, Leaf?
I did not, but I know that he, coached a number of the guys that sort of were around when I was finishing my career.
Yeah.
Andrei Medvedev, in particular, man out of Ukraine. French Open finalist. So Andre Agassi, you may remember that final. It's up 2-0 on Andrei Medvedev was.
Dolgopolov's dad, Alexander. So he's grown up around the game his whole life. Knows a lot of the great players. Knew him as a child.
Yeah, he was a tennis brat, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Traveling the tour. Picking up hits with some of the guys here and there where he could as a very young player.
Dodig's yet to make an impression in this match so far. He's about to go down 3-love. Easy start for Dolgopolov, who has come out ripping away and has come away with a 3-love lead to begin the match. Alexander Dolgopolov, 3-love. He has come out and played just about a perfect opening 3 games. Not giving Dodig any rhythm at all.
Yeah, and that's a dependable combination for any player in the modern game. Big first serve, and then on the return, you've got something to sink your teeth into with the forehand.
Dodig playing a little more sense of purpose in this service game. Coming into this game, he had not won a second serve point. And that trend continues. The double fault keeps Dolgopolov in the game. But finally, Dodig's on the board. His first game of the match. But Dolgopolov still up a break.
Yeah, he looked more settled in that service game. Just a little more comfortable.
Well, just watching the guys in the interviews, Leaf, and I mean, you were there face to face, but Dolgopolov looked very relaxed.
Yeah, he seemed very calm, didn't he?
Yeah.
Dodig looked a little more intense, a little more wound up about the occasion.
Oh, he was letting it go, and it goes in.
Or actually, did he try to make a play on it? It looks like he swung at the ball.
Yeah. Did he whiff that? I thought he was just being funny. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. He was making a play. He has contacts and playing at night. Did you ever have trouble playing at night?
It can be tricky. You know, sometimes you get the ball up high, it gets in the lights up there.
Some guys just don't like the light up at night.
I actually enjoyed playing at night. As a server, you felt like your ball had a little more pace to it, and maybe your opponent didn't pick it up as easily.
Right. That would make sense, yeah. Boy, 2 costly mistakes from Dolgopolov. Let's see if it ultimately costs him here.
Yeah, and this was one of the keys that I talked about at the start. You know, he's got to stay focused. He just has to avoid these lapses. Obviously, all players do.
Well, he's having one right now. Break point for Dodig. Dodig winning a long rally, and with it comes the break. So we are back on serve after 5 games.
Got a coffee or something? Can I give you some money for it?
I got it. I'll bring it back.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. What'd you get? I just got a coffee. I said, where are you going to go? He goes, oh, there's a Dunkin' Donuts across the street. I'm like, are you sure you want to go all that way?
Yeah, he probably does. Are you kidding me? He's probably been there all day.
Is this really our broadcast position?
This is absurd, man. It sucks. There's like 500 people up here.
Well, we normally had more space.
I got a
You should just go with the monitors, man. Sit up on the chair. It's not comfortable. I couldn't stand it.
Everybody having fun tonight here in Delray Beach. First hardcourt outdoor tournament in the United States of the season. And the next one will be Indian Wells next week. Good place to grab some momentum. Dolgopolov's going through one of those ups and downs, a down right now that he is susceptible to. He started out 3-love up, just Dodig waited for the storm to blow itself out.
The things that Dolgopolov was doing so well in the first few games are just drying up. He was getting a lot of returns back into play. Being opportunistic, not offering up too many errors, all those things are not working now.
Things getting away from Dolgopolov here in a hurry. It's a good thing he had the cushion of the break.
Better return there. A good hard flat serve, and oftentimes your opponent can handle that kind of serve better than he can a high spinning serve. It just comes into your racket. He uses the pace so well.
Yeah, perfect. There's the speed of Dolgopolov.
Sounds like we've got a few Ukrainian fans here who are enjoying themselves, and why not? This is another great one. We've seen him hit 2 of these now.
He mentioned getting hurt at Davis Cup, but he led Ukraine to a win over the Slovak Republic. They play Sweden next despite picking up an injury. Forehand from Dodig, and he has drawn even. They've each won 3 games apiece to start the opening set. Second ace for Dolgopolov. Oh, he's called out. He's challenging it. I've even got my glasses on. I thought that was good. Let's see. Wow. I had to adjust my prescription. Wow.
I was wondering what was going on there, Sam.
Well, they have had a complete role reversal. Dodig is dictating things right now.
Yeah, and Dodig has picked up his energy level. Dolgopolov, well, his has dropped. Yeah, and that's what Dolgopolov has to avoid. Besides these lapses, I think either they're triggered by the fact that his emotions get a little bit down, but I think he needs to stay positive. He does tend to be a little self-critical.
A couple of aces in this game. Those are his 2 points.
He's not a player to pump his fist and do a lot of that kind of thing, and he pretty much internalizes most of what's happening out here.
But you can see at times he almost seems to lose interest.
Yeah, I think that's one of his problems, isn't it? He's this calm, cool character. At least he likes to present himself that way, yet maybe he's a little too calm. You know, maybe he needs a little more fire at the right times.
Poor shot selection from Dolgopolov. He had that point won, but instead he's going to be facing break point.
Yeah, you can see him shaking his head saying, why did I play this volley down the line? You know, I think he felt Dodig was going to vacate that position. Dodig protected it, and now he was all crossed up. This could be a huge turn of events. Potentially 4 straight games for Dodig.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened here. Dodig was down 3-love, and now he leads 4-3. Complete turnaround here in the first night match in Delray Beach.
Here in our All-American City. Enjoying great tennis. Visit our world-class.
You know, I think we had Dolgopolov in L.A. last year in the summer, and he was like the only really interesting player, and he lost first round, I think. And Sam won it, and they packed up the tents, I think. When Sam Querrey wins a tournament 3 times, it's done. Can you believe it? Remember that? I mean, it was just like... He played a terrible final, though.
Oh, it was awful. It was great for us because we were all flying back to the East Coast.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. What's your name? Thanks, man. Beautiful. I'll leave.
Well, Ivan Dodig has completely turned this match around. He was down 3-love to start it. Hey, Leif, I noticed when you were talking to Dodig, you told him the story about how you used to call Lindell Ivan. And were you doing that just to mess with him, or that's really what you thought?
No, that's actually
what everybody called him, wasn't it?
Well, I thought it was, you know, Ivan. But
and now everybody says Ivan.
Ivan, yeah. I think that's how he preferred it.
Well, certainly, and American English. Ivan sounds a little tougher than Ivan.
Yeah, I just honestly, it was just the way that I interpreted the name. I didn't mean it as any slight towards Ivan, but I think we got to know that name pretty well in tennis circles, didn't we?
The speed, I mean, against most people, that was a winner. Dolgopolov with sprinter speed to cover that.
Yeah, and also the combination of hands that once he did get there, he was able to make the racket head open itself up and then come outside that edge of the ball. I mean, that's beautifully done. That's not an easy conversion in anyone's book.
Dodig has got Dolgopolov on a string.
Yeah, it just seems like the conditions, the ball doesn't seem to be going through the court. Dolgopolov has been unable to finish points. You can see how both these guys are strong movers. I mean, Dodig has filled in some spaces beautifully tonight.
Dodig, 5 unanswered games after dropping the first 3. And it's Dolgopolov who has to serve to stay in the set. Look at Dodig, though. He's the one that looks out of breath. And he's been running Dolgopolov like crazy.
He works hard on the tennis court. He does a lot of running. Yeah, that's not a good sign there.
It's just been a nightmare. Wow.
Another factor that you have to sort of reckon into this as well is the conditions. It's fairly breezy, and it just seems like Dodig has not been bothered by it. Dolgopolov just has struggled lately. Oh, that is painful.
Set points as a result. Wow. 2 double faults to end the set. And that was a nightmare.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dodig
let's make some
wins
noise
6 straight games to take the opening set.
الشباب العماني كاظمة الكويتي. دور المجموعات من دوري أبطال الخليج اليوم حصريا على الجزيرة الرياضية كلاس 6. الشباب السعودي، الجيش القطري. دور المجموعات من دوري أبطال آسيا اليوم حصريا على قنوات الجزيرة الرياضية. تعادل يطرح تساؤلات كثيرة، فهل الإياب يقدم الجواب؟ الكلاسيكو حصريا على الجزيرة الرياضية.
Quick 3-love lead and then didn't win another game.
Yeah, he really stamped his authority early, and you felt like, oh, he's going to just dominate this match. You know, use all his skills. He seemed totally together mentally, but he just let it slip. A couple of loose points. He swung and missed a volley. That was significant, I thought. And he never seemed to recover.
Dodig setting the ball on the right side of the
Yeah, playing tennis from a set down is a dangerous business. There are no guarantees from this position.
I heard a lot of people today around the locker room talking about that was out. Kind of went away against Matosevic in the quarters at Memphis. That was a match that he very much could have won.
Well, I like Marinko's game a lot. And, in fact, Marinko's had a good run here in Delray Beach in the past. I believe he reached the final here. But that's a match Dolgopolov should win. I mean, these are players who are tough, yes, but this guy's tougher. Certainly tougher than what he's shown so far tonight. You know, I'm really glad that Alex is back playing Davis Cup for Ukraine. You know, for so many years he's had a real gripe with the Ukrainian Tennis Federation. He didn't feel he was getting paid properly, and there was some bonuses that, you know, really he felt should be tied into playing Davis Cup that were never realized. And so he didn't play. As a result, he did not play in the Olympics. And I just wonder whether getting back in the Davis Cup and realizing just how tough that is physically and emotionally. You know, yes, he played well in Memphis, but maybe all this tennis is just catching up with him a little bit because he's letting this one slip away.
I mean, it's happened so fast, you know, it's still, to me, a little hard to believe. Like, you keep thinking, well, he may flip the switch and come back. Because Dodig's really been handed a lot of this, not to take away from what he's done.
And Dodig is not going to allow it to be an easy win. You know, he's going to make Dolgopolov earn this one.
Cool.
And he's going to hit a few of those, and that can be a tough combination because that can break down your opponent's belief. Break down the fact that he's not, you know, I'm enjoying this? No, I'm not.
Game point for Dodig, first game, second set. And Dodig holds serve as the troubles continue. He's now, Dodig's won 7 straight games. as where they're hitting in the rallies.
Yeah, and Dolgopolov is just a little too content to take this position behind the baseline. I mean, he was having so much success in those first 3 games where he was up inside the blue, the dark blue, I should say. And Dodig has just played a good, solid match so far. I don't think he's done anything spectacular. I think he served well, taking advantage of the short balls. He hasn't hit any breathtaking shots, and that makes you think that Dolgopolov has given this to him.
51.
Yeah, a little casual there, wasn't it?
I mean, obviously, sometimes it's just not your night. But the way he started this match, I don't think that could be the case. Does seem to be having trouble picking up the ball a little bit. At least that's what his face would tell you.
You know, besides the physical and emotional investment of playing Davis Cup again, you know, he's also changed coaches. You know, for a long time he was coached by his father. Then he took on this Australian coach, Jack Reeder, and now he's not working with Reeder. And they had a very successful collaboration. I know it was really...
They're
good.
personally very close.
Exactly, yeah. Good friends. Traveled well together.
Dolgopolov does seem to be the kind of player that needs someone to keep him focused. Keep him with a sense of purpose. No, that drifts out. And it's break point.
Well, you know, he's made some decisions there up the net that I think are going to... You know, this is why he missed this volley. I mean, that's a very makeable play. And he's played behind Dodig before and he got burned. So I think this time he felt he had to play it too close to the line.
Eight straight games for Dodig.
Yeah, Dodig is really a great example for tennis players. You don't need to be a tall guy like John Isner, like Sam Querrey to have a great serve. I mean, here's a guy 5'11", you know, under 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Maybe just 6 feet tall, but he's just a little under. But great motion. He works his legs beautifully to get up to the toss and give himself a better angle down into the service box. And even on the second serve, he's got a fair amount of action on it. So a guy like this who doesn't make many mistakes from the back of the court, if he protects his serve, he's got great chances against great players.
Yeah, he's a nightmare for Dolgopolov. Oh, he can't get it. And a little bit of fortune finally for Dolgopolov, but it comes when this game is very much in favor of Dodig.
And again, that's where he was doing good things. Early on the ball, good position in the court. I mean, just be a little more aggressive. That's one of the things he talked about. Now he's failing to do it.
Still game point. Dodig had a 40-love lead. And another ace secures the hold. And Dodig moves ahead 3-love here in the second set.
Champion Porsche, proud to be a sponsor of the Delray ATP.
How many aces has he got?
Porsche models for the mid-engine excitement of the Cayman and Boxster. The class-defining luxury of the Cayenne and Panamera. And of course, the iconic Porsche 911. Visit Champion Porsche for a test drive today. Porsche, there's no substitute. Fans, USTA members get exclusive discounts on everything from tennis to car insurance. Join or renew here at the Delray Beach ITC and we'll add some special U.S. Open gifts. Stop by our booth and let us show you how to play more, get more, and give more with USTA Florida.
Now, Dodig has won 9 straight games in this match. He's down 3-love, and he hasn't lost a game since. Good hands from Dolgopolov. Fans want to see him get back in it. Ace.
Dolgopolov has not served well enough tonight.
Well, his first serve percentage is below 50%. He won his first 6 first serve points, and he's won 2 since.
That's just not a good number.
That is good. Dolgopolov has a chance to stop the 9-game run. And finally, nobody wins 10 games in a row against Dolgopolov. But he's still down a break.
I like that little play on words there. Reminds me of our friend Vitas Gerlaitis, right? Yeah. So no one beats Vitas Gerlaitis 16 straight times. Was that it? I think something along those lines. Finally beat Jimmy Connors after a long losing streak. See, this is the problem. You know, Dolgopolov has a type of game where, okay, I can get back into this, I return well. But Dodig has a lead. He's fairly loose. He's getting a lot of serves in.
Yeah, he's just been able to impose himself on Dolgopolov.
If you allow a guy to get his confidence like this, I'm going to offer up some free points, and suddenly this guy's, I'm not going to lose to this guy. And everything is going right. make for a long night. In this case, maybe a short night.
Dodig challenges this backhand on the line, or that was hit up the line. It's called out. And it was out. Felt good, though. Palazzo review there.
You know, that backhand up the line, though, that's a sign of confidence from Dodig, because he's not a player to do a lot with his backhand. You know, he understands his game well. I'm not a great backhand, but I'm not going to make mistakes on it. So for him to change the line of attack, you know he feels good about things.
And he is spanking aces right now. Dodig is 2 games away from a win over the number 5 seed. He leads 4-1 second set.
As one of the strongest banks in the Southeast, Iberia Bank is well positioned to meet your business and personal needs now and well into the future. Coming up, our second match this evening, up before 8:30, will be a Battle of Americans. The number 3 seed, Sam Curry, against Michael Russell. Like the St. Andrew Scots team up there. Won the match.
Dolgopolov and Dodig here in the first round, and it is Dodig who is having his way against the number 5 seed. Dodig only ranked 62 in the world, looking very good against the 22nd ranked player in the world. Dolgopolov's finished top 20 the last 2 years. Started to show a little more life in his last service game.
We talked about how Dolgopolov was a quarterfinalist in Memphis earlier this year. Dodig quarters in Zagreb, so he's had some wins. He's had a little bit of confidence that he can draw from.
Yeah, that's smart, because Dolgopolov was way back. Dolgopolov wants to challenge this. Dodig says, fine, I need a breather.
He is a hard worker out there. Sort of a desperate challenge.
The Palazzo Hawkeye confirms the call. Well, this would be almost fatal if Dolgopolov's broken here. 30-all. Smart.
Yeah, and this has been the rhythm tonight. He's had a couple of good moments, chance to get through a game, and he just throws it away with an unforced error. He's been his own worst enemy tonight.
This match just 50 minutes old. Dolgopolov shields his eyes sometimes when those returns are coming his way. Holds his hands up above his eyebrows as if to try to judge the height of the ball.
Now, when you're playing indoor tennis, the lights are reflected usually up at the ceiling, indirect lighting. Here, of course, the lights are right down on the court, so you put the lights in a bad position, you can't look right into them. It's an adjustment, and he has not handled it well.
That goes out again, another unforced error from Dolgopolov. No way else to describe that. Didn't have to be that close. Love. It's the problem for Dolgopolov. He just can't get anything on Dodig's serve right now. Dodig one game away from the second round. Dolgopolov must hold to avoid that.
Is your most complete source for local news. The largest news team in the county, the Post delivers exclusive stories you won't find anywhere else. Read us in print, online, or on your smartphone or tablet. Palm Beach Post. Real news starts here. The Delray Garden Center is proud to provide the tropical foliage for the Delray Beach International Tennis Championships. Be sure to stop by our retail garden center and also visit Naturally Uncommon, our new seaside boutique. Located just a short drive west on Atlantic Avenue. Delray Garden Center.
Well, it is time for Dolgopolov to do or die in this match. He's got a hold, or his tournament is brief. He's held comfortably the last two service games. His problem is just on the return.
Tight call on the baseline, yeah. And another one goes Dodig's way. And watching Dodig, he doesn't really hit that backhand with that much pace, but he's in a position where he can go for it a little bit more.
Game point Dolgopolov as he tries to make Dodig serve this out. That's what he's doing. So Dolgopolov holds, extends the match, but it will be Dodig serving, and Dodig has been so solid serving.
Yeah, he lost his opening service game of the match, went down a break early, and since then he has been rock solid. Let's see what he can produce at this ultimate moment.
Wow, just pure power.
We talked about the lighting conditions. Remember, Dodig has had success in Delray Beach before. He's handled the court, the lights, the winds better.
Dodig's been a quarter finalist here. That was 2011. Triple match point. He's thinking about a challenge. Nope.
It just seems like at another time in the match, if he wasn't quite so far ahead, Dodig would have been playing a forehand there. So sometimes when you're ahead and it's this easy, okay, I'll go with my backhand.
That goes out, and Dodig moves on. At one point, Dodig won 9 games in a row in this match. And an impressive win for Ivan Dodig, 6-3, 6-3.
It was impressive. When you consider the conditions and how tough they were, the breezes, the light, playing at night, playing against a guy like Dolgopolov, who is so tricky, boy, he handled it well. He deserved this win. And did he serve brilliantly tonight? A lot of good first serves when he needed them. You know?
Yeah.
And, again, oftentimes it's better to hit a lot of good shots than 1 or 2 great shots. And Dolgopolov really couldn't do either. But Dodig tonight was capable of putting a lot of balls into play. And at the right times, hitting great shots. He really played a complete match.
So, well done, Ivan Dodig. He's going to play another young Russian, Donskoy, who got past Steve Darcy earlier today. Dodig and Donskoy in the round of 16.
And this was another important reason for both these guys. Whoever won this match was going to be the favorite in this round of 16, so there's a potential ride to the quarterfinals there if Dodig can reproduce what he did today.
Tommy Haas, the top seed in this section of the draw, also a former champion here.